It's not that badly blown, but it is blown. I think we caught it in time. Block looks alright. For the mileage it's got quite high mileage. Okay, we've got the cylinder head back from the engineers. Everything's been done. Engineering was done, so it's all good to go. So we're ready to start assembling. So I'm going to put the exhaust manifold on and all the brackets and covers that goes over here. Get that assembled, put all the lifters back in its correct places. And then we can put the cylinder head on. We're using Victor Range gaskets, so it's very good quality. First of all, we're going to put this cover on here. We have cleaned it as best as we can. This car's got high mileage, so some of the stuff was a little bit hard to come off. That's the wrong bolt for there. Now we put the exhaust manifold on. And I'll drop all the nuts. This one here. It fits in over here, So it fits in over here, in between here. It's just basically a heat shield to keep some of the heat out. And now there's a cover that goes over here. We're going to put that on. Now usually you would have to remove the oxygen sensor, the O2 sensor, but this one is seized on. And I wasn't going to force it, because then you're going to damage threads. So if you try and force it out, you're actually looking for more trouble than it's what actually it's worth. So I just slipped it past basically. Just to get this one to take threads properly. Get this top bolt to line up. Okay. So now we're going to fit the lifter, the followers back. This is number 1 here. That's number 1. So that's E1 because that's exhaust. I1 because that's inlet. So we're going to go I1, I2, and so on. I'm going to go E1, E2, until we fit them all in. As I showed you before, there's a number inside here, so it's very thin inside here, and it's got a place over here where the valve actually presses against, and this side here the camshaft pushes. So this is a specific size, so it takes up the measurement between the camshaft and the valve. This is in some ways a lot better than hydraulic, because once you set it, it is set. Most performance cars and race cars and stuff like that prefer running on shim heads. You just get a lot better performance out of it because you don't lose that gap. So the bigger the gap, the less the valve opens. So the more performance you lose. But it's at a minimal stage, but every little bit counts. Before you put the cylinder head on, you want to take compressed air and blow out all the holes where the head bolt. Whoops. This is a very important step. If you've got oil or water inside here by where the cylinder head bolt goes, when you tighten it down, it's going to come to the water and it won't go further. So you'll think you've got it on torque, meantime you have not. So it's very, very important. So this is Vector Rains. The Vector Rains gasket. There's a gasket there. Torque specifications and the torque sequence is over there. So the torque specification is 20 Newton meters, 30 Newton meters, 90 degrees, 90 degrees, 90, this is 9 millimeters, so you got 20 Newton meters, 90 degrees, 90 degrees, or 100 degrees. For 10 millimeter bolts, it's 30 Newton meters, 90 degrees, 90 degrees. So we're going to follow the standard, which according to Hyundai is 20 Newton meters, 90, 90. We're just going to follow the torque specification, the sequence. Now we're going to fit the head gaskets. Take care that when you put it on the block, you put it on the right way. Take note, there's an oil port there. Make sure that the cylinder head gasket meets up with the oil port and does not block it. There's another oil port there, a very small one. Make sure the head head gasket meets up with it and it does not close it off. It's very important. Before you put the head on, you want to make sure that all your ports are lining up, all your head bolts are lining up and everything is fine. Once you are 100% certain that it is all correct, then you're ready to put the head on. Before you put the head on with these ones, because it's got a timing chain and a timing cover, what you do here is you put a little bit of sealer here on the corner here, underneath the head gasket here, and a little bit on top, on both sides, just on the corners, just over there where my finger is, there and there. The reason why we do that is because there's a small gap here. It doesn't go all the way to the edge, and there's a small hole over there. So what it does is the sealer comes through and it actually fills that gap. So when we come and we put the timing cover on, you're not going to get a leak on these corners. So when you put sealer, you put a little bit on your finger here, put it there. And put it there. You can see it coming out through the holes over here. Now we're ready to put the cylinder head on. It's got two slots where it slips into. Make sure you got them in there. Put brand new head bolts. put the head bolts on, don't forget the washers. The washers are extremely important. Some head bolts already have washers on them, some of them do not. You're just going to be very careful and make sure you have proper head bolt washers. They're pretty thick, as you can see there. They're pretty thick and they're strong, so they do not compress. These washers do not compress. Okay, so over here I'm busy taking the bolts down. Once I'm finished taking them down, I'm going to be tightening them down to 20 Newton meters. Unfortunately, I don't have a torque wrench with me, but my arm is an extended torque wrench to my body. So for all those who are DIYers, do not do this. Always use a torque wrench, but I know plus minus or pretty much exactly what 20 Newton meters feels like. So this tool here is called a torque angle adapter. So the way it works is you put your socket on there and your torque wrench or your power bar goes on this side. It'll turn it, but this here holds your degrees. So what you do is you set it to 0, which is there. So when you turn it, you want to turn it to 90 degrees. And that's it. That's how easy it is. We're going to go number 1, which is here. Get your torque angle adapter in the right place here. Set it to 0. Make sure this is taut. "90 degrees, that's it exactly. Number 2, set it to 0. "90 degrees. and 90 degrees. That's all of them done first round. Next round and another 100 degrees. 70 Newton meters, 90 degrees, 100 degrees. So as per here, there's M9, 9 millimeter, 20 Newton meters, M9, 90 degrees, M9, 100 degrees, which is exactly what we did. The M10 is a slightly thicker bolt. We don't have that one. We've got the M9. So we go according to that torque spec. And this was a torque sequence here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And we followed that. I'm removing the thermostat housing so I can fit the new thermostat. New thermostat. This is a jiggle valve. It's there at the highest point because the thermostat sits like this. So when you fill water, a little bit of air can pass through there. So you don't get airlocks. It doesn't completely stop the airlocks, but it helps to get rid of them. There's a slot in the block where it goes, so it can only go in one way. So you can see the jiggle valve is facing exactly 90 degrees up. Apply a little bit of sealer here. Just for insurance, you don't really need it. The gasket kit does not come with this gasket, so that's why I'm fitting the old gasket back. One nut. Just a second. Yeah. The bolt that goes here. And then another bolt that goes here. Okay. This is heater pipe, this is heater outlet. Comes out from there, so this is your inlet side, this is your outlet side. So because we got variable valve timing, this has a sieve, a microfilter that goes over here. It sifts the oil pressure before it gets to the oil control valve, which is over here, to control your variable valve timing. Sometimes that gets blocked up, especially when you don't service your car. So if you haven't serviced your car in quite a while, chances of this being blocked up is very high, especially if you feel like your car is losing power. This is the oil control valve. thermostat. I'll put some sealer on here. The gasket kit does not come with new seals for here. They come with some seals, but not all the seals that you actually need. Got a little bit of oil. You can see I'm using quality oil. So what you want to do is lubricate these journals. Inlet camshaft, hit, exhaust camshaft, hit, lubricate this cap. E1, I4, I2, E3, R3, I1, E2, and E4. This is a guard, a chain guard. So when you're moving your tensioner back to detension it, there is a little pin inside here you got to lift up. If you look very carefully inside there, you got to lift it up. so this can go back, that ratchet. Once you release it, it'll start holding again. So when you push it back, so you've got to push it back and then we've got to lock it. And you get it in as far as possible. Take a pin, shove it in there, and that should lock it. Okay, now I'm looking for discolored links. There's one here, and one here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark it, and mark it, just so that it's easier for me to see. On the intake sprocket, there's a dot here. Just going to put a mark over there. Just like that. It's on. And before I put this on, there's also a mark here. You see that mark? So I'm just going to put a line there, just that it's easier to see. On this one, there's a line here. I'm going to put a mark there. That's supposed to line up over there. And then over here, there's a dot. Now that I've got my spanner, I'm just going to line this up plus minus with the level of the head here. And then this one too. It's almost there. This is pretty much there. I think what I'm going to do to make it a bit easier, if you look at this line here, when I made the tooth that is directly down in front of that is there, so that's going to be in line there. That's about it, close enough. Chain, that goes around the crank at the bottom. It goes around one mark here, one mark there. Now I just got to check the crank at the bottom. Yes. See, there's a dot there. So we're going to line this one up. That tooth there, that is now perfect. Okay. So now we're on that mark there, we're on that mark there, we're on the bottom mark. Put the other side guard, just like that. Tensioner. Now that it is timed correctly, I'm just going to tighten the camshaft. And now we're pretty much ready for the timing cover. With all that's tight, all those are tight, that's tight, that's tight. That's in time, that's in time, that's in time. And that's in line, and that's in line. Yeah. So now the valve timing is done. So now I've adjusted the tensioner, I've locked the locking pin, so now there's no play here, which is what you want. So now we're just going to wipe over here. We're going to apply sealer to the timing cover. We're going to put the timing cover on. Okay, so now with the timing cover on the oil pump, you see there's a line here and a line here with 2 arrows. On the inside you'll see there's a notch here. Try to get close up. You see that notch there? That turns, that's the actual oil pump. You want that lined up. Those notches lined up. So that is now ready to go over the crankshaft, because the crankshaft has got a slot on it. And if you don't have that lined up, it's not going to go over the crankshaft. And the crankshaft must be on top dead center when you do this. Which it is, because we just timed the camshafts. So now we're applying some sealer. We've really cleaned this. We've cleaned up all the old sealer and stuff off of here and the oil. You don't need to put a very thick amount of sealer on here, just a small generous amount. I use Vector Rain sealer. It's a very good sealer. In fact, I can't think of a better sealer. When you're applying sealer around here, you don't want to put sealer around here because there's an O-ring on the block. And that's for your oil ports. You do not want to put sealer on your oil ports because you can block up your bearings and cause damage. You don't want to do that. If the seals don't look like they're good, do not put sealer there, replace the seals. Inside over here, there's one place here where a bolt goes through and another place over here. So you want to put sealer there too, just to prevent possible oil leaks. Now I'm coming back here to where the coolant pump is. I'm putting it a little bit thicker along this bead here, because there's a groove inside there and you want to fill the groove up. And straight on, nice and easy, because I've got my crankshaft lined up. Everything's in its place where it's supposed to be. Okay, now to put the bolts going all the way around, I'll get them in now, and yeah, we'll start tightening them up. Okay, I fitted the timing cover, tightened it down. I fitted the crank pulley, tightened that up. The idle pulley, the water pump is on. The water pump pulley is on, new water pump. So the engine mounting bracket is on, the engine mounting is on, it's all tight. The exhaust is tight, and the bracket is tight. So now we're ready to fit the inlet manifold. I'm going to still give the engine a clean when I'm done. I'm not too worried about the inlet manifold and stuff like that being a bit dirty. It's going to get cleaned. You'd be amazed what a bit of degreaser and a high pressure wash can do. Alternator. Putting the drive belt. we've got a new tapper cover gasket, so we're going to fit that quickly. A little bit of sealer right here on this joint here, on this joint over here, one here and one there. So you take a bit of sealer, you put it there like that. Same thing this side. So here I fill up the radiator with coolant. Just topping it up as much as possible to try and get as much air out. Now remove the top hose, which is the highest point of the vehicle. I lift it up and I pour antifreeze directly into there. That is to put the antifreeze into the system a lot quicker and to remove as much air as possible. Okay, so we're pretty much done. It's just to put the wheel, well, the cover on and the wheel on, and then drop it down. But I'll do that just now because I want to start it first, let it run for a while, let the thermostat open, bleed out all the remaining air that's in the system, let the fan come on, top it up, check for leaks. If everything's good, then we can complete it by putting the cover, the wheel, and then I'll test drive it, and then in the morning I'll give it a wash when it's cold, give it a full engine wash, and then give it another test drive. So now I'm going to start it. The battery's flat. When jump starting a car, the red cable goes on the plus of the battery. So it goes on the plus on that side and the plus on this side. So you put the red cable first, plus first. Minus is the black. And now we're ready to start. No leaks, yes, sounds good. Disconnecting the battery, take the negative off first. For some reason the sound quality from my phone makes the engine sound really bad, but it is actually sounding pretty good. You'll see smoke coming from the back, that's normal. That's just from a bit of oil from my hands getting on this, so that's just going to burn off. Takes a couple of minutes. I've just cleaned the engine. The engine's running pretty well. I'm about to take it for its test drive. This is now the next day after I did the repair. I ran it to temperature, the fan came on 3 times, went off 3 times, was perfect. Holding pressure, there's no leaks, no oil leaks, no coolant leaks. It's not overpressuring, which is good. So now I'm about to take it for its test drive and then deliver to a customer. So that's this one done. This is the Hyundai I30. Yeah. So now on to the next one.